Hey guys, I'm doing a Q&A video. If you like this, give it a thumbs up. If you want to leave me a question, check out my Ask FM. And if you want to see more Q&As, I will leave the playlist link down below. Let's get into it. Is there such thing as a perfect date? I think any longtime viewer knows what I'm gonna say. Yes, Vivo. Today I found that my boyfriend was cheating on me with some girls, plural girls, and I confronted him. He ended up in tears. He said, I was sorry, can we keep trying and I'll regain your trust and stuff. I want to stay with him. Thoughts? I don't know. Getting out of the way the fact that most people who cheat will probably cheat again. Not everybody, not every circumstance. Sometimes, you know, you do it, you fuck up and you realize, ooh, I see the light. Just from the way that you worded this, in the fact that he was cheating with girls, you confronted him and he had tears in his eyes and he said like, oh, I'm sorry, doesn't really sound like he's that great of a person, so he's probably not going to be the exception to that rule. He's probably going to do it again. But pushing all of that aside, you will not trust him to the same level that you did. Ever again. If someone breaks your trust like that by literally betraying you sexually with someone else, there's really rarely any coming back from that, and if there is, the relationship is not the same for a long time. I would say that you deserve better. I would say that you deserve a relationship that has that trust and it wasn't broken, and I would say that he needs to get his shit together. That's what I would say. You're welcome. I feel like this is like a "and that's what you heard" with Purd segment. Okay. It's been 2 months since me and my boyfriend broke up and we haven't talked about it since. We're in the same group of friends, we go to the same college, I see him every day. He acts like our 1-year relationship never existed, he acts like he doesn't care. Should I talk to him? He needs to know it's wrong. It's not wrong to move on. It's not wrong to separate yourself from a person who is a big part of your life to find who you are without that person again. What he's doing might just be part of him moving on, even if he seems really nonchalant about it. And if it's not, it's still not wrong to move past something, because the thing that you guys had was a relationship, and now that you don't have like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, maybe you don't transition into being friends, and that's unfortunate, and it sucks that you have to see them all the time, but it's not wrong of him to not include you in his life in a way that he did before when you were together. It's hurtful and it sucks for you, and I'm sure he's in pain going through this, even if he doesn't show it, but it's not wrong. I would say, you know, if you need to talk to him, if you need to, you know, reach out to him and say, listen, I'm hurt and I would like to know how you feel about this whole thing. Don't go in with any expectations that he's going to be like, oh, I'm hurt too, like, let's work on this. But if you need to do that to feel better, absolutely do that. But I would say try to move on and try to get to a point where you recognize your life without this other person, because that's what it's going to have to be from now on. And that sucks, and it's terrifying that you can go one day with one person who means the world to you and the next day they're not even a part of your life, but that's just what life is. It's a growing experience and it's painful, but it's what life is. I've been friends with this girl for ages and we get along really well, but recently she keeps saying gay is not okay and God made Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I'm 100% for gays and hate when she says this. What do I do? Okay, here's what I would do in this situation, because you really only have a couple options. You could ignore it and just cringe like crazy every time they say something stupid like that. You could just be like, listen, I want to be your friend, I think you're a cool person, but I am not okay with you saying things like that about gay people, because they're just people, and if you could refrain from saying that in my presence, that would be awesome, because it's hurtful for me when you say that. Or you could cut ties, and I think cutting ties really depends on how she reacts to what you say to her, and I really do hope that you say something to her. I know it's hard to confront someone that you love as a friend. Talk to her, that would be my suggestion, and your next move kind of depends on how she reacts to that. If she's like, no, I can say whatever the fuck I want, fuck you, gay people are gross, then you can be like, okay, realizing who you are as a person, not appreciating it, gonna stop hanging out with you because you're kind of shitty, and I'm learning that now a little bit too late, wasted some of my time, sad about it, but leaving. Or she'd be like, oh yeah, totally respect that, you know, didn't realize, whoops-a-daisy, all good from here on out. How do you get a guy's attention without seeming too desperate? Okay, there's a fine line between being confident and approaching someone and like repeatedly stalking them. So if you go up and you say hello to someone, or if this is on Twitter, you like tweet to them, or if it's on Instagram, you like a couple of their pictures, you know, just reach out and like kind of extend that olive branch. Fine if they're reciprocating, but if you're the one doing this constantly and you're not getting anything back, stop. Because that's when it goes from like, oh, there's a communication between the two of us, to like, you're so desperate and crazy looking, stop immediately because it doesn't seem like they're interested. Did pinning your ears have the desired effect? Did it give you more self-confidence or just one less thing to worry about? It really helped. For those of you who don't know, I got an otoplasty over the summer, which basically means I got my ears pinned back. They used to be like elf ears. And yeah, for me, it was just a complete like game changer, just with self-confidence wise. I was always a very confident person, but that was the one part where I was like, never put your hair up, don't show anybody. Like, I would completely walk through the mall, and even though it was hot and I was sweating, I would be like, hair down, cover your ears. And like, now I can wear my hair up. I've worn my hair up in videos, I wear my hair up often. It's kind of like one of those things where it's like, it's nice not to have to worry about it, you know? It's not like life-changing, but it's nice that it's not something I'm concerned with. And I have an otoplasty video where I vlogged the entire experience before and afters if you want to see, so I'll link that down below. How to relieve your stomach pains whilst on your period without any painkillers. Exercise is an unfortunate helper, because I know that the last thing anyone wants to do when you're like, ugh, the pain, is like move, but it helps. I will sit by our fireplace, like lying down with my stomach kind of facing it, and then slowly, once the muscles start to relax from the heat, I'll do like some sit-ups, and that kind of helps. Drinking lots of fluid helps. I think that a lot of the things that I do where it's like I eat a chocolate bar or I drink like some tea, they're probably more mental things. I mean, I know that the heat really helps kind of relax your muscles, so that's probably helpful, but like ginger is really good. That relieves like stomach aches and stuff, which is something that I get along with cramps. Like, my stomach is just in knots. Heating pads are great. Take a bath, like even if you're on your period, just like put a tampon in and wipe yourself down with a hygiene wipe, and then just like take a bath. It's so nice. Like, don't be afraid to take baths when you're on your period, because that's when it feels the best. Yeah, hopefully that's it. I don't know. Leave your suggestions down below. Ginger ale also helps when it's like flat. Good. My parents literally told me nothing about sex. They never talked to me about safe sex, orgasms, or how sex works, even though I asked questions that should have led to those things. Is this normal, or did they fail in the sex ed department of parenting? I think a lot of these things depend on how your parents were raised. You know, if they weren't raised with a bunch of sex knowledge, they can go one of two routes. They can either change that for their children, or they can just follow what their parents did. I feel like that's a lot of things throughout life, right? Like, you learn from what your parents did, and you either do the same thing or you create a new path. So your parents probably did what their parents did. Pretty much in this day and age, you can get your own information, but as a parent, like, I'm not a parent, but a parent should take it upon themselves to assume that their kid is going to get wrong information and educate them properly. So yeah, your parents probably get an F in the sex ed department, but educate yourself properly. Like, watch YouTube videos. Lacey Green is great. I have sex ed videos. Just educate yourself. It's so important. You know, be protected, consent, always consent, you and your partner, for every part of the entire experience. I'm sure you have a lot of this knowledge now because you're on my channel, which is great. Continue doing that. But yeah. You know, just for the future, if you have kids, educate them. I really want to ejaculate on my girlfriend's face, but I'm not sure how she'd react to me asking. What should I do? Ask her. And if she says no, don't do it. And if she says yes, enjoy doing it. I'm 17 and I rent my own house, I have my job, I do online school, and I've never missed rent, but my boyfriend isn't independent. He wants me to pay for everything for him, and he stole this month's rent to buy alcohol. I'm scared I'm gonna get evicted because I can't afford rent now. Also, should we break up? You should for sure break up, because you as a person right now, you're up here. You're doing great things, you got your life together, you know, you're doing your school, you have your job, you have your money, you're being responsible. Your boyfriend's a piece of shit. Just, like, to be super blunt. Like, break up with him because he's gross and awful, and you're not, and you can do better, and you shouldn't have to baby someone through life. You know, you shouldn't have to be like, make sure you don't steal rent money and buy booze. That's not something that you should ever have to tell someone who's involved in your life. So, dump his ass. Just ask a friend to borrow a little bit of money. Like, obviously this is rent and you seem responsible enough to pay people back, so just get the money that you need and dump his fucking ass. If he's putting you at risk of being kicked out of your apartment, I think that warrants a breakup. I told my guidance counselor that I had been abused at home for 4 years and I had become depressed, and she said she can't do anything about it. People go through worse, and go back to class and stop wasting her time. I'm incredibly upset about what she said. As am I. Okay, so counselors at school have to go through some sort of system, right? So first of all, report her to the principal. Second of all, if she's like a registered psychologist or something, report her to the board and get her license completely stripped away, because that's bullshit. Just ruin her life. Report her to everyone that you can possibly report her to. Also report your family. Just please try to get out of this situation. You deserve so much better than this, and I am so sick of getting these messages from you guys where you're in school and you're being hurt emotionally or physically and no one's doing anything about it. I'm so sick and tired of it. I'm so sick and tired of schools not doing their jobs. I'm so sick of people who are supposed to be protecting you not doing their jobs because they want to build your independence up. It's bullshit, and something needs to fucking change. So anyone going through a situation where they're being physically hurt anywhere, tell somebody, please. Please, you do not deserve to be made to feel small and useless because you're not. And anyone who's standing in the way of your protection, report them to their superiors. Go to the school board and report this entire situation. Like, this is not acceptable behavior. Ever. And I hope that you know that. This is not a you problem. This is not you being worthless or being bratty or being too snivelly and you can't take care of yourself. This is 100% of them problem. And these are the people who are supposed to be keeping you safe, and they're not doing their jobs, and that is absolutely unacceptable, and you need to strip them of their entire life worth. All of it. Just ruin their lives. Just go forth and fucking get them fired. Oh my god, everyone's the worst, and I'm so sorry, you guys, because you guys are great. You're great. Don't feel useless. Don't feel ugly. Don't feel gross, because you're not. Ugh. People suck, and I'm sorry that you have to deal with that. But I'm gonna go because now I'm sweaty and angry and done. So thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you enjoyed. This has been a ranty one. Okay, that's it. Oh, P.S. Quick note, we moved the podcast from Outside the Comfort Zone onto iTunes, so if you search Outside the Comfort Zone on iTunes, you can find it on there so you can listen to it on the go. It is also available on Android. I will link the channel down below because there's a video explaining all of the changes and everything, so check that out. We're still going to be using the channel for videos and Tinder segments and stuff, and also I put up a Tinder video on my main channel the other week, and it was hilarious, and you should go watch it if you're feeling upset or sad, because I watch it when I'm feeling upset or sad because I am vain enough to laugh at myself and my jokes. So go and check it out, and have a good day, guys. You deserve it. Bye.